Okay, so we had the big reveal. Woo! Let me tear into this little guy until my wife comes and tells me I need to go in the house. I've already let the chickens out, let them run around for a little while. Gave them some snacks. They went to bed on their own. So I closed them in. So I'm done with the chickens today. That's on the little toy that I picked up. Showed up today. A lot of you might have seen this saw on eBay. No bar and chain, just the power head. I offered a fair price. I know in the prior video I said I got it cheap. Well, in comparison to what I have spent on saws that were in similar shape, I think I got into this one right. Got this little goodie today. Kind of cool. Throw my parts in there. Usually use my metal trays. They got a better magnet. But this little guy's kind of cool. I don't know if you've seen that. Rubber, a little magnetic in there. That's the little things that brings joy. I'm going to sit down for a spell. See something real quick. That's about right. Start uncorking this thing. I have a sneaking suspicion I might be putting crank bearings in this thing. I don't know how long it's been sitting. I really don't know the history of this thing at all, other than it took a trek across the lower 48 here to get to me. I'm excited to have it. You know, the market for chainsaws is kind of squirrely around here. And if you want to buy a Husky or Steel, even if it's a basket case, you're going to pay top dollar. I don't mind paying top dollar, but not for a basket case. That's sticky. Yeah, I mean, all the plastic's in good shape. A little rough, needs a little polishing. Kill wire's not hooked up. Awesome. So we know how that was getting turned off. Oh, choke. Ooh. You can see that. Wire kind of got chewed on a little bit. Probably wondering why I'm just tearing it apart. Well, like I said, I have a feeling the top end's gonna have to come off. We had smell-o-vision, you'd be grossed out right now because this, just taking that air filter off, you could smell the rotten gas. So I know it's gonna, well, whether it eats it or not, it's gonna get all new fuel lines. I'm going to get her back up to good working order. I'm not much into the restoring, as in, you know, decals and paint and all that. I appreciate the guys that are into that, because that just takes a lot of patience, and time and research and all that. I just like making good running saws. You know, I do quite a bit on Marketplace, buy stuff off of there, fix it up, sell it. I don't make a dime on any of it, just enough money to continue my passion, which is just making these little saws run again. I left my eyeballs in the house. Sucks getting old. I believe. There we go. No. Oh, that's right. They love running those little retaining clips. It's been a while since I've worked on a bumper. See if I can sneak it out here and get a better look at it. There we go. Now I can see. The fuel line broke, so yeah, I was right on that. Crank. Yeah. Stupid little retainer. Ugh. Man, that's rotten. Even the vent. Rotten. Oof. I should have left that corked. That stinks to high heaven here. There we go. Got to run done. Well, that's a tiny. How tiny the carburetor is. I've seen weed eaters with carburetors outside. Okay. Let me go ahead and take this off. Wanted to look at that little boot in here. You've probably seen the same intake setup. Just 2 screws. Yeah. Yeah. That same intake setup on coolant. This is where it all started on this model here. It's a rubber boot. Can't hardly see it because it's so gross, but this rubber boot goes in between the cylinder and the carb mount base. And there's, well, it's there. There's a little hose right down here that is your impulse line. Very simple design, but is it the best? I don't know. It works. It works. So we got that going for us. Yeah. Wow, that's a little different than the other one. Curious, get all that gunk out of there and be able to see what the heck. I don't understand that. That's the fuel line. Oh, that's just the tank vent. A little bit different way of doing it on this saw. Cool. Didn't take long to figure that out. Oh, this rattle thing over here is driving me nuts. It's like having a steering wheel for a belt buckle. Driving me nuts. Flippy floppy. All kinds of noise. Yeah, we got both bar plates. That's nice. Brake band's missing. Imagine that. How's that sprocket look? Pretty good shape. Might as well just get that clutch off now because I'm going to want to lube that clutch bearing. Oops, that's not it. Should be this bad boy right here. It is. Actually, let's use this. It's gonna be that bad boy right there. Yeah, that sprocket's in good shape. Got a new one for it anyway. Got a new clutch for this, so it'll fit this as well. Don't look like I'm gonna need it. Which is nice. Most of my partner tools, or parts, excuse me, most of my partner parts are like the larger saws. I've got a few. I'm a happy little member of the John Sored Partner group. They're on Marketplace. There's some hardcore guys there. Some great information if you're into partners. Man, that's some heavy duty wire on that. I think I'm going to take the top handle off, the front handle assembly. That wire. I mean, I get the desperation, you lose a screw out in the woods, but somewhere along the lines, yeah, I don't know, you'd think you'd replace that. I would. Let's see if my old side cutters will do a trick. Oh my goodness, that's some kind of wire. Good golly. What kind of wire is that? I will want. Grief, what the heck is that? Coil spring out of a 68 Pontiac or Plymouth or something? Jeez. That's some tough wire. There we go. Get my fat into it. There we go. Yeah, it's. Oh. Not even the right rubber piece, but that's okay. So it makes these projects fun. That's not the stop bolt either. That's not favorable. Great, googly moogly. One mechanic would say, yeah, you stripped it in. That's what that felt like. A piece of copper tubing. Oh yeah, whatever works. Good grief. Good grief, my friends. Mix of fasteners here. So I'm probably going to have to, well, I don't have to, but I will time insert that cylinder handlebar mount. Just because I can, and it's not stock. Just like that bad boy comes apart. See how compact that little saw is? What a dandy. What a dandy. this off eventually, since I have a screwdriver here. Take that bad boy off. Now on these, they got these, I'm sure you've seen them, kind of got the spring lock here on this. This is what I do. Just give it a little pop, and that should just come right off of there. Oh, wait a minute. Got another screw. It wasn't those little locks that had it holding me up. It's my inability to see that little screw. You see, by popping it here and here, it releases that. And then you just bend it back and she'll clamp again. Okay. Well, there's some of that puke coming out of there. Okay. Take the hammer out. Let's get a look at the cylinder. I said it feels good, but feel could always be wrong, as I've said before. A drop of oil can make this scored cylinder put out decent compression. Speaking of that, MS440 put a top end on it a couple of years ago. Haven't seen it in a while. It doesn't have hardly any time on it at all, and they brought it in back into the shop today because they just don't use it anymore, and basically turning it in. And I was going to just do a quick check. I looked at it visually. It's like hardly had any time on it. Pulled it over, it felt okay. Then I pulled the muffler, took the visual, and that's where the truth was. They had, by best I can tell by looking at it, and everyone else in the shop looked at it too because they were curious why I was tearing it clear apart. But yeah, it looked like they ran straight gas in it. And this saw was in great shape. And of course, they ran it until it just did not run anymore. And so all that debris coming off the piston, it went down through the cases, had smoked for the crank bearings, the crank, I don't know. It's always so sketchy on those things when they eat that much aluminum. But anyway, that's what happens when you look in the muffler. It felt okay, and it was not okay. It's going to take complete rebuild. And since it was essentially being decommissioned, it's not going to get fixed until there's maybe a dire need for it to be fixed, which I don't see that happening. It's a shame. Great saw. I always thought the original version, the 044, I always thought that was the best saw still ever made for your general wood cutting. I had one of those for years. I ran dog crap out of it. Yes, I heated solely with wood back then. And I was pulling in 6 to 8 cord a year. Not that I used all of it, but that's what I'd go get just in case we had a long winter. And go out in the woods, and that old 44, she knocked down the timber and limbed her up and bucked her up for me. The only thing it didn't do was load it. I always wished it did, but it did not. right. Well, that cylinder looks good. Smooth as glass. Let's take a look here. I don't know if you kind of see down in there. Still a lot. Can't find my flashlight, but got my stupid headlamps. I can shine some light down in there. Oop, I can see it looks pretty good in there. At least there's not a bunch of signs of dirt. It looks like it had oil. It was running. Oh, look at that. That piston looks good. A couple little scuffs on it. As old as this saw is, really nothing much to complain about. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Alright, well, whew. Yeah, it stinks. Now that I've got everything off of it, I'll turn it over, and it's like, yeah. Look at that. I don't know if you can see that, but that's. Ooh, a little tight spot right. Oh, that's the magnets. Tight all the way around. Just, oh, I can feel the balls just crunching in there. So yeah, it's gonna have to come off. Kind of kicked myself in the butt. I should have the flywheel off already, but oh well. I'm gonna cut this video off right here now that we've seen and smelt the condition of this thing. I mean, whoops. Wow. Looks like she's been gotten a little warm. Maybe a combination of that and some low grade oil. And I can see the carbon buildup on the bearing race down there in one of the mains. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to keep talking. Hey, thanks for watching, and until next time, take care.